You're listening to Unspooled, the podcast where failed prints are just part of the journey. Hosted by Corey from Recreator3D, the guy who thinks filament is a personality trait, and Steve from Layer by Layer, who probably has more spools of filament than forks. Every week we dive into 3D printing, making, and the occasional rant. So grab your favorite filament and let's get unspooled.
All right, we should be live. Episode 26. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good, man. You cut it early. You cut it like
so. I got to say something real quick, okay? Just at we were a minute late clicking going live, and I was so flustered that I was like moving real quick, and I literally just knocked tea all over my keyboard. Like,
you knocked the whole thing over, or just
almost the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
it is everywhere right now. Like, I am covered in friggin' tea. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay, my hands are sticky. Like, it's crazy. I have honey in my tea, and it's a mess.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So bear with me if I can't control anything because my keyboard dies. It's literally there's a puddle in my keyboard right now.
Oh no!
I've been using this Hodo to like blow it all out. Okay. So, but anyways, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Besides spilling the tea.
Yeah, other than the tea accident of 2025, I'm doing great. So as I said, episode 26.
Half a year, right? Half a year.
We have
feels
not
like it was just 6 months ago that we started this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been nuts. So
it is.
What have you been doing this week?
This week, absolutely nothing. Besides work. My 9 to 5 has kind of been like crazy. But I did get to do a little bit of nomad sculpting, which was cool.
Yep.
And then just hanging out on the Unspooled Discord with all of our hood rat friends.
Yep.
Getting into hood rat trouble, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, I've had a crazy week. I'm not going to talk about it tonight. I'll talk about it after we have our guest on. A lot of stuff going on.
So real quick, I'm getting old. Never mind. I forgot what I was about to say. Okay. So yeah, we've both been like working like crazy this week. But did you you finished the second antithesis, right?
I finished the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've got like 4 projects going, and then another one just like kind of started last night, and I got confirmation today of it. Can't say anything about it right now, but it's going to be awesome. So when I can say something about it, I will.
You change, man.
I know. Well, this one, I don't have a choice on this one. So, but yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'll talk about it like that. I'll talk about it after our guest. We have an awesome guest for tonight. A lot of you guys are gonna know him. Hopefully, some of you guys don't. That way, you get introduced to it. Awesome project. Been about 4 years or so. I love the thing. It makes filament that I like. So, do you want to bring him on now?
Yeah, let's bring him on.
All right. So.
Hold on. We gotta get like theme music or something before we bring guests on.
Yeah, I know. We need like a big like ta-da.
Right.
Like play some bell, some drums or something.
Right.
So, anyways, we have Josh from Recreator3D. So let's go ahead and bring him on stage here.
And there we go.
We had a little bit of drums.
Some drums. There we go.
There you go.
Those drums are pathetic, dude.
They are. We're gonna have to put in some different ones, but
yeah, here you go.
So there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So how are you, Josh?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. Thank you for having me tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Nice.
We talked at 3D Printopia about you coming on. And I know it's been wild since then. I was sick. You got a little bit of a sickness thing afterwards. The con crud, as they like to say.
Yeah. You just get, I don't know, mental fog too. I get the SADs every year, so the schedule alignment where Printopia falls, and it's funny. I know Printopia changed. Some of the coordinators have birthdays around, or spouses have birthdays around. So happy wife, happy life. So, and like anything else, things are changing for the schedules coming up with all the other festivals.
Yeah,
So
the new Texas one, and
so many. It's a lot.
Jerf.
Jerf.
Jerf sprung up last year out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and all of a sudden I had one person that was like, "I'm going," and I'm like, "What? What do you mean? Where's this that you're going to?"
Yeah,
So,
Udo, big old Udo, doing.
but that popped up right before Rocky Mountain, or right after, I think. So
it all seemed to go together very quick.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna get to the point now where people are gonna have to actually make choices about which ones they go to.
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to make it to all of them.
Smurf has moved to March from December, so that's,
Smurf.
2026 has gotten a little like
kind of in order. Smurf.
It's in order, and there's a beat, but like you just said, some people are choosing to stay to their areas, so it's going to be interesting to see,
Yeah, like me, I usually, 3D Printopia or Earth is in my neck of the woods. I'm in Maine, northeast, the northeast, so that's kind of my local one, and then I usually I'm trying to pick like one other one that's around. So this year, hopefully it's Rocky Mountain.
I have a write-up. It's nothing official. I wanted to call it Nerf. We got New England, and from the New England aspect, you actually have Nerf guns from our area for just the history of where they've come from, and so I just thought that it'd be kind of fun to have it down here, like somewhere, maybe Massachusetts. But
Steve, was it you when I said like the New England Nerf? You said barf, right? Boston area. Boston area rep festival. Barf. I think it's perfect.
I think it's amazing, dude.
That's literally my home. Like I'm down.
There could be some good stuff coming out of that.
Oh my god! Just the name
image for that.
That was the one thing I loved about Earth, was that it sounded like Earth, and like every time I heard it, I always thought about it was an old movie with like Jim Carrey called Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah,
I was the merchandising alone for that could have been like Earth Boys Are Easy, or anything like along those lines.
I think a lot of times when we talk about it behind the scenes, I still call it Earth.
Oh yeah,
I still in public I refer to it as 3D.
I know, call it 3D Earth.
It depends on who I'm talking to, because it's a mouthful. 3D Printopia is a lot to say, but you can just Earth is a sound, and like most people who have been around knows that the two are the same. So it's just easier to say Earth, and it's easier to type Earth when you're talking to people who've been in the community for a while and they know. I wouldn't do that to someone that's brand new.
I've actually said it to someone who's only been into 3D printing for like less than a year, and they were like, Earth. They're like, I've never heard of an Earth. And I'm like, it's 3D Printopia. And they're like, oh, okay. Like,
but I feel like it's going to be further branched once it goes to Philly. It's going to have that one less separation to where it was, So,
Vicky said the same thing. She said she still says Earth here and there.
Well, for them, it's that's 7 years for
something like
right.
That. Yeah. 2018, right? Was the first year.
Yep.
So and then we hit COVID, and that's when I started Recreator, was right around COVID hit. It was, I'm sure you guys maybe were like, what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
I started buying more printers. I had two printers. I had two monoprice mini selects at the beginning of COVID, and then probably by the end I had 4 printers. I think a A1 whatever, not the A8, the ET4X, and my first Ender. So
I was living on eBay at the time, just kind of salvaging whatever cheap stuff, and right at the cusp of it becoming not a thing for a hot minute, I ended up with a clone. I can't tell you the name of the clone off the top of my head, but it was it was an Ender 7, and so it was pre Ender 2, which became now the Ender 2 Pro. And so this again was an Ender 7, and it was just more or less like just a mini, but it was the smallest, like easiest kit form. And right now I'm trying to just re-emulate it, just to say that, you know, like I wish I'll grab it in a hot minute, but I'm working on it out of pet bottles, just so the next show or wherever it goes, probably Rocky Mountain, we'll just have an Ender 2 clone out of pet bottles, just as simple as we can make it. Just, you know, like, you know, it's all about the nozzles for the most part. So if we just stick a Revo on there with the basic parts, you know, you're gonna have a nice printer for about $1.75.
Yep. Yeah. I gotta say, I mean, I love the.
I'll be right back.
For it. Yeah. I love the MK6 fun size one. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually like the 5, the vertical version of it. Just for me, space is always a thing. So when I saw the vertical version, I was like, that's
the Vertigo. Cool. So I have done the best that I can. So my background in 3D printing, I would say, ended up turning into more tech support. So my first printer was a Robo R1. I love that printer. It taught me a lot. It taught me about frustration and patience and slicers. And so the first slicer was Matter Hacker slicer, and I hated it. And this was at the time where Simplify 3D was out, right? Simply 3D. And it was $1.50 at the time, you know. So but for me, it was like everyone was saying, buy the good slicer, and that's will make your life night. Oh my God, life night and day, and a difference, and it was. And so that soon now that's irrelevant now. You get, you know, I personally like Prusa slicer. Other people are into Orca, and then everybody who is using a Bamboo is into Bamboo Studio.
Yeah, I still go. I mean, I like Orca. I'm an Orca person. I use Orca for pretty much everything. I do like Prusa slicer. I will still go back to that every once in a while. I've got a couple printers that I just built the profiles in Prusa slicer, so I go back for those. But I was a Simplified 3D guy too. I bought it. It was funny though, like it was almost like once that got really popular and everybody started buying it, they quickly started falling behind. You know, and then it was so long until version 5.1 or whatever the last one was that came out. And
they didn't make it easy for anybody who was already, you know, it should have been a grandfathered like coupon, honestly. Would have kept the majority of people. But now you're charging an extra on top of it being a 2-year hiatus where you know, and then all Kira caught up, and then Prusa caught up, and both of those are free.
But the one, even when Kira and Prusa Slicer caught up and actually started passing them, there was one thing that Simplified 3D always had, and it was their amazing manual supports placement. They were the only ones at the time that had that.
That is literally why I hung on to it for so long, and I did not want to switch over to Prusa. I just did not. And so the only thing that got me to eventually switch to Prusa was buying a Prusa. That's you know, at the time I got the kit, so it's an $800 purchase where you're just like, I wanted to taste the Kool-Aid at that point, you know. And so before that, I got into M3D, which I don't know if y'all remember M3D. But I kickstarted their Quad Fusion, and so that was the first MMU that I would consider. I miss it. It was color mixing, true color mixing, a 4-in, 1-out mixer, and so it could potentially toothpaste depending on what you fed it, but also depending on what you fed it, it could also very much trick your eye to the point where you felt like, oh wow, this is a 95% accurate color mixed. And you could hit like 16 plus colors with just 4 colors mixing. So it had potential. Unfortunately, the slicers were experimental, and it was by Fusion 360, which eventually stopped supporting it once M3D as a company no longer was a company. So you have experimental tech coming out with slicers that have been kind of fine-tuned for it, but once the money's gone, the slicers are gone. And so I had to beg and plead that company to give us the slicer, because they killed it. So they eventually jailbreaked it for us and allowed us to get it, because we had about 700 community members, and that was a Facebook page that I started to curate myself, which M3D was like, oh wow, you're doing great with support, and we're a dying company, can we please like latch on to you? And so that's how JRT3D kind of started, where eventually I started bringing in Amazon returns, and now I have an abundance of Amazon printers from Expico. And the X3S was pretty much the guts and base of what started the MK1, where I had printers that were coming through that were more or less not able to be repaired as a 3D printer, just because they had a dented 2020 rail, or maybe one of the boards or LCDs was broken. So they just became the collect pile, where it's just, that's going to be salvage material and we'll pick from it. And eventually I just said, oh wow, okay, I had already during COVID decided to get into pultrusion amongst looking into different methods of recycling. You guys, we got a lot of recycling going on. So my MMU with M3D with the Quad Fusion was my first introduction to M3D poop, or MMU poop, the waste in general. So, that kind of started me there, and started Recreator amongst just, being bored at home, and pultrusion became a thing after looking into extrusion. There was like a hybrid unit that I saw that was actually taking in our strips as a direct drive extruder. And so I had started working on that and wanted to reproduce it, so it's just a pellet drive extruder head, direct drive. And so I tried doing that strip indie here and tore the crap out of this thing. And so at that point, I don't want to say I got frustrated easily, but I just from the get-go was like, this strip, for whatever reason, I don't, like I had an experimental custom head, and my goal from the start has been to use off-the-shelf parts as much as we can and as cheap as possible, just so that we can keep it rep, but entry level cost wise for the most people, because like I mentioned, the Prusa costs a lot of money, and all the new Prusas that just came out, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be buying one. I don't know about y'all, but
I mean, I would love to, but yeah, it's I mean, they're what is it, $1,800? I love the size of it. I think the core one is amazing. Having a bigger core one is even better. $1,800.
I've been waiting for that size for 2 years, and I'm like, yay, the size, but I can't afford it.
I will say it's cheaper than what I thought it was gonna be, because I feel like historically they've been higher price than a lot of people, by a lot. And so I'm genuinely surprised at the price point. I thought it would be higher, just because they have the name and they have the loyalty amongst the Team Orange. So
Team Orange.
So
I'm not bashing on them. I'm more excited as a second. So I very much believe that RepRap is still alive, in the sense that we are now going through like a renaissance of recycling, where a lot of states, we don't have recycling in states to begin with. So whether we're talking about actual like plastic being recycled or electronics being recycled, like we don't have if you don't have a recycling to take in your plastic, you're definitely not going to have a recycling to take in your electronics. So the average person's now just like, got Ender 3. I don't need this Ender 3. Just throw it away. I've gotten my price out of it. I've gotten my experience and my years out of it. Now it's collecting dust. those are still viable electronics, motors, hot
The
end,
motors, yeah, dude.
LCD,
Yeah.
And the control board, you know, and
Then
the
I've
power
got-
supply.
I've got piles of them laying around, and then I've even got piles of like the original MK3s from
Yup.
you know Big Tree Tech, and
So we,
I mean,
you know, with the Prusa, we've got the upgrade where they said you can now take your MK3 and move it over to the MK4. So one
Yep.
of our community members actually took their guts from the MK3 and turned it into the Prusa MK6 edition for the Recreator. So it's just like the MK6 that we've got here, but it's got the front face of the MK3 and the hot end and everything. So
Yep.
it's awesome that we've got over 180 community member mods. So
Nice.
I mean, there's nothing more in 2025. There's nothing more rep now than the Ender 3. I mean, the Ender 3 has been turned into thousands of
Yeah.
different things. I mean, I just saw the other day there's a Kickstarter now of a silicone printer that is basically an Ender 3 frame that has
Wow.
a silicone extruder on it. And their kicks, you know, so, and then, I mean, there's nothing more rep than an Ender 3 turning into like the MK6 or the MK5 or the MK, you know,
the NG kit. I still want to get that.
yeah,
You know,
I
and
mean,
convert
it's-
it into 3.
I mean,
So, yeah,
it's
there's-
still, I also don't agree with, you know, rep is dead. I mean, I see it every day. I'm involved in a kids robotics team, and they're rapping the heck out of things all the time. And my local maker space there are people just taking printers and taking printer parts and making all kinds of wild stuff with them, you know. So
in the I think in the sense of a makerspace and a robotics course and class and all that, that's like right where we need to be. And oh my god, the kids at 3D Printopia,
Oh my god!
I had this one kid's eyes like blow up where he was like, "What's your project about?" And I'm like, "We're taking our soda bottle and then we're gonna strip it down."
Yeah,
you know, and his eyes just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I'm like, "Then we make our filament." And I had my glasses. I had my glasses on at the time, and I was like, "Then we turn them into glasses."
Oh, you probably blew his mind, dude.
I mean, one of the things. Oh, go ahead, Steve.
No, I'll say that like I feel like these events started for like us per se, but it's quickly become like you're happy to see kids there, you know, and people who are new to it altogether. You know, even though we get to see us and we get to hang out and stuff like that, but seeing like kids come through and like adults that kind of give you that same kid feeling as well.
Yeah,
of like,
yeah,
whoa, this
definitely.
is amazing. You know, like that right there is enough.
Those I always view it as like those kids are the next ones to create something
absolutely.
like the Recreator3D, right? Like those are the kids that if we
Those
get
are,
them into
I
it,
have 12-year-olds that have said, you know, and like there was kids that came up to me and they're like, "Oh, we did this in our robotics class with my, you know, with my 4-H or whatever," and I'm just like, well, what, like, okay, like, but when I was 12, I was doing model rockets, you know,
Right.
and so I can see where, in the sense where if you got someone, I would hope that you had a, you know, adult with you at that age doing the project with you, but. You know, my parents also left me at that age to recreate.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so,
when I was 12, I was disassembling lawnmowers and making like crazy go-karts that we probably should have died on, but you know, it's just, but yeah, it's just like the one thing that I've always liked about the Recreator is that I still talk to kids. Like, so I'm involved in the robotics team, so I see a lot of kids that are like from in even like the Lego age, right? The Lego robotics teams. So from like, you know, 4th grade up to high school. And a lot of times these kids are struggling to come up with the money to buy like an A1 or an A1 mini, right? Now that's kind of the machine that all of them want. So they struggle to come up with the money to buy an A1 or an A1 mini. And then they have no money for filament, right? Like they struggle to buy one roll, you know, or they save 2 weeks allowance just to buy one roll. And I think us as adults
this is a great talking point.
Yeah, and I think us that are adults that have been in this for so long and we have more disposable income, we look at a roll of $20 or under filament, and we're like, man, it's cheap now and it's good, right? It's cheap, good filament. But for a 12, 13, 14, or 15-year-old that now has their own printer, $20 is a lot. And, unless mom and dad can just go out and buy you filament, which a lot of them can't. So to be able to do something like this, and a lot of these kids might have had an Ender 3 already, and then now they've upgraded to an A1, and they can use the Ender 3 to make filament, and I think, I just think that's cool. Like, because I know a lot of kids that have printers that don't print as much as they want to because they can't afford the filament. So,
yeah, like I mentioned, doing model rockets. If I had a 3D printer when I was doing model rockets, just to think, I was taking cardboard and making fins at that point. I'd be in Tinkercad making fins and 3D printing them out of soda bottles. And to think, so for me, we went to DC in January of this year, which was amazing. We had a class of 30 kids, and similar circumstances where maybe a couple of them had 3D printers, but they were lucky enough to have the 3D printer where the other ones weren't. And then on top of it, cool, you've got a 3D printer, but well, sorry, little Jimmy, you got to go work for your filament because we got to put food on the table this week, and you didn't get your filament. And so I would have been in that boat where I'm now, but I saw this guy's Recreator online that says I can take a soda bottle and turn it into filament. And so a lot of the kids I'm in that bracket, and there's a lot of us in that bracket. Just so if you think, it's sad to think the United States is a third world country in the sense of recycling, to the point where I think they've got a lot of us convinced that recycling is everywhere for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's very much not. And financially, for me and for a lot of people, your redemption money is only going to be for carbonated drinks, which is further insane to me, that a carbonated and an uncarbonated drink is going to determine if you're able to get 5 cents or 10 cents back for financial redemption. So again, for most people, it's now trash. Regardless if it's 5 cents, for a lot of people, 5 cents is trash. Sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people who I live in Maine, which is one of the states where you can turn soda bottles in for 5 cents, and a lot of people just don't do it. Right, like they still.
It's a convenience, and so it's either an inconvenience or a convenience. And so for me, I started collecting a Print Farms bamboo poop. I also got into the Art Me extruder and trying to shred, because we've got our tops and bottoms for ours, and so I wanted to further say, how can we shred and then extrude so that we're getting a full circle home recycling options. So bamboo poop became a thing halfway in between going to the festivals, and so for pultrusion from extrusion is so much easier. But we still needed to be able to keep the option of refining it going, and keeping that cheap and effective. So if you think that no one's got the recycling in a government stance, that's money. If the government's not putting money into that because there's no money in it, what do you do at that point? And during COVID, we were told there wasn't enough people hired to clear out recycling, and that our recycling was now deemed trash.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
so that was a further incentive for me to be like, what?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm going around my neighborhood during COVID, grabbing soda bottles, further questioning my existence if I should be, because it's COVID lockdown. I shouldn't be grabbing soda bottles from strangers.
So I had actually had an idea a few weeks back where I was we were at robotics, and I'm looking around, and the new robotic season is coming, and we always get a filament sponsor and everything, but we want to use the colored filament for the robot and everything, but they do a lot of prototyping parts and all this stuff that they do. And I was like, could we get 4 or 5 recreators and do a robotics bottle drive where instead of people donating the bottles for us to return for 5 cents for money, people donate the bottles so that we could then turn it into pet filament.
That's exactly what I'm looking for in an ambassador. So we've got our ambassadors, like you mentioned, when going to our first festival was Murph, where we had one of our community members. We reached out, we're like, who can go, and all of a sudden our ambassador program just launched from there, and that's what you just described is exactly what we hope for within the Recreator community. Again, we're a community, we're open source, we're non-commercial. So if you have a makerspace that can buy kits, again, we've got our kits from kb3d.com. That's now for people who unfortunately maybe they only have one Ender 3 and it's their only printer. The fact, a concept of sacrificing it, like they're, oh my god, they can't sacrifice my Ender 3. I get it. I get it. Like at some point I had one printer, and the idea of why would I turn, we mentioned the Prusa printer. Why would I turn a $1,000 printer that is a still viable printer into a pultrusion unit? And so there have been people that show up and say, I want to turn this into a pultrusion unit. I'm like, that is a great viable pet printer, and so I have to further then argue on a technical aspect, which with some people who come up and they say, I want to do this, like, nah, I devise it, like for we got these for $210. They're pretty much everything you need in a box. So if you didn't want to sacrifice $175 Ender 3, KB3D is doing all the tooling in-house. So, and if you don't have the tools and you don't have the experience or the desire for that extra $50, KB3D has pretty much got you hooked up. So there are people that think like, yay, I can do it myself. Then they realize like, oh, I'm not the do-it-yourself type of person. We run into that all the time. I think 3D printing runs into that all the time. So when I have a 12-year-old tell me I built your unit from my Ender 3, and I'm like, did anybody help you sand the bearings? I sand the bearings myself. Did anybody help you drill the hot end? I did it myself. I'm like, well, if a 12-year-old can do it.
And I think some people too, it's not even a matter of can they do it. They're the type like me, I have kits in box. I have print kits in boxes I've had for months and months.
But that's because you have a problem.
I do have a problem, yes.
Okay.
But the problem aside is sometimes you'll even buy kits, and then with every intention of putting it together, and they just go by the wayside. But I think I think these are small enough to where if someone buys a kit, they're going to put it together. So
to kind of go full circle back to where you're talking with your makerspace, like I'd love to see someone grab like 5 of these kits because they've got 5 kids in a small class. Or again, I'm about to go back to DC, hopefully again in 2026, where we got the 30 kids. If we got 30 kids and each one of those kids has a kit in front of them, we can put that together in a 3-hour course. Right now you've got 30 kids with 30 recreators. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? So the kids, we loved it. We gave them about 16 bottle types, and we said 4 of these types avoid. These other 4 are okay, but are a little more work with cleaning. And then these remaining 8, they're better, they take less time to clean, they're easier to strip. Some bottles come with the label where if you just cut this off, there's no glue. So this just comes right off as a label. If anyone from a soda bottle company or water bottle company is listening right now, y'all need to move to that. No glue anymore. So the glue for us is half of, that's not half the battle of cleaning, but we
But
want
it's
to
a
make
big
sure our
part of it.
bottles are nice or clean, you know.
Yeah.
So it is, the bath is crucial. And like anything else, you don't want to have debris in your commercial filament. And I like to say that our recycled filament is actually better than our commercial filament, because I've had less failures with my trash filament than I've had with my commercial filament.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, as long as you keep it clean, have you found a specific way to, so like on a Sprite bottle, when you pull the label off, you get that little glue strip. Have you guys
Yep.
found a surefire, easier way of getting that off?
So like anything else, you're now home production, home recycling, and you're going to bring other resources into it. So electricity, water. And so if you're trying to keep recycling in mind and reduction of all that jazz, we want to, you know, for the most part, when you're pultruding, it's just like running your printer. It's even less. So for the idea that, you know, how much electricity is it taking? Just as much as your 3D printer, if not less. So for some people, that's cents on the hour. Outside of that, water, you know, it's not free. We also want to make sure that our glue and our extra labels aren't going down our drains. So we don't want our own drains clogged, nor do we want that
that's a good
going
point.
into our water source back into our city.
Yeah.
So it's good to have, you know, kind of a drain catcher while you're doing it. But I try to reuse as much hot water as I can. So if you've got like a water jug to fill up with water and then like fill back in as you want to clean the inside. So like anything else, if you're using the soda, you're gonna have soda in it. If you're using water, it's water. So for the most part, you shouldn't have to rewash your water bottles, but depending on where you're getting them from and how much glue is on it.
Yeah.
I use a orange spray deodorant for bathroom air spray. It's all natural citrus. It's one of the silliest options that you would think would remove glue. It's one of the best for me because it's citrus and natural. Again, from everything else on the shelves that you can get, seems to be the less toxic of 5 other options. So it doesn't really mess with your skin if you've got skin sensitivities. It's citrus, so it smells pretty decent. Outside of that, it cuts glue like butter. So for the most part, like I get a not like a scalpel, but like a dull blade. You want to scrape it off. But once it's clean, you know, we've got a bottle dryer with a fan, 5-volt fan. You put 8 bottles on our bottle dryer for an hour, and that keeps them dry. So I like to keep things in kind of like 8s. So you need 8 2-liter bottles. Oh my God, right now I'm messing my math up. You need 40 2-liter bottles to make 1K roll.
Okay, that's not bad.
So
no, not really.
You're getting 25 grams per bottle. So for me, if I do 8 bottles at a time, eventually you get 5 rounds, you'll get 40. So if you then have 5 kids, you know, doing Recreator all day, collecting bottles, each kid comes in with a bottle, you got 5 kids, 5 bottles, doing that for even an hour a day. Like, so you can do 20, depending on how you can run the unit a couple different ways. So some of our community members want 100% infill on the filament. So for the most part, pultrusion tends to stick to the diameter of your nozzle. So if you're pultruding through we usually say to take a standard strand of filament if you're making your own nozzle. So your standards should caliper to about 1.73. So we try to aim for a 1.73 nozzle diameter. KB3D is selling them for $8 pre-configured. So if you don't want to drill and guesstimate where your nozzle's at. They're actually diametering them perfectly for 1.73 for us. So not too bad of a purchase there. But that's going to be crucial. So like, for the most part, it ends up coming around 1.75. And so if you're doing a very slow pull, you usually will end up with 100%. But then that ends up being 25 grams in about 2 hours. A lot of people are like, wow, 2 hours for 25 grams, that's a long time. And it is a long time. And so that's a 300 millimeter speed that we run, but we also have 1800. And 1800 is like I call it my ludicrous speed. So we can end up pulling 25 grams in about 17 minutes.
Whoa.
So, but then that ends up being what I call a 90% cord. So, or diameter, like we have 90% fill and then 10% a hollow core.
Yeah.
So some people don't want to mess with their slicer. Maybe they don't know how to mess with their slicers. So the idea of calibrating their custom filament does not jive with their understanding of slicers. So they don't want to mess with their extrusion multiplier. For me, I try to tell everybody at some point you're going to have to profile in your slicer, or you should be, whatever filament you're using. If it's brand new, you should know how to make a profile for it. So for the fast people, we definitely want to be making a calibration cube and compensating for that 10%. So that 10% ends up bringing our extrusion rate up to about like 1.1, sometimes 1.3, depending on how either diameter your nozzle are. So we get in the conversation of having multiple recreators. If you've made custom nozzles, it's likely that each one of your nozzles is not going to be like the other. And so that is where a custom profile for each one of your recreators would be like crucial. But at that point, you're in production mode. So you would make each one of your recreators a brand of filament. Recreator number 1 is Pepsi. Recreator number 2 is Coke. And each one of those would get a profile. That way you are keeping it like consistent amongst that.
That makes
so
sense.
that's where I would say, if you're also doing that and you want to keep it more consistent, definitely buy a nozzle from KB3D, because they're going to have it. Each one of those nozzles is going to be machine dialed in for 1.73.
And one of those nozzles comes in the kit, right? Like
correct. So that's again one of those added values of if a kit, an Ender 3 is 175 off of Amazon, and I say my cost of parts in a recreator is 145, where's that extra 65 come in at the 210? We're like, okay, well, again, there's 3 core parts that you have to do machining yourself on, with a drill bits, sander. That's all an extra $100 in tools, where the average person might not have that in their toolkit.
So have you found in your
makerspace might though, right?
So real quick, before that you do. So Polymaker, thanks for the raid. They rated us with a bunch of people.
Nice.
Right now we're talking to Josh, the creator of the Recreator. And this is you have version 7 in the works right now, right?
We are working on version 7. We can do a sneak peek because we're actually, I guess today is officially beta day. I sent some files out to a bunch of people.
Yeah, dude, that looks so cool.
Like that.
We kind of, it looks a little bigger than our MK6. And
it looks lighter though.
We got it's a little lighter. I can actually weigh them if you want. But so MK6 and MK7. So
nice.
It's a reduction in parts, small parts, size for printed. We're trying to always make everybody happy. Like you mentioned the Vertigo earlier. Some people felt like, I have a hard time pulling right. And some people are like, easier to pull left, and then it made me go like, are you a right-handed person versus a left-handed person? And so the idea of now that like you can have both sides. For me, the MK6 is nice and small, but some people feel like they get a better pull extending it another 2 or 3 inches. So we've got an MK5 mini. And there's just varying sizes at this point where, you know, again, if you want the vertigo, you can go vertical. There's been 3 or 4 different expanded mods from that. That actually never was officially released myself. I had a community member pretty much approach me, and I said, I was never able to finish it. They took what I had and they rolled with it, and I rolled with it as an official based off of just somebody else's community. So they became another ambassador.
Nice.
So for core members that want to do more with it, we're very much like humbled the fact that they want to keep it under the brand, help expand the community and the brand and the project locally. I can't believe where it's gone as far as the community response, and again where it's got the potential to go on a rep stance with the new generation of kids coming up, and the fact again that we don't have recycling in a lot of areas. It's multiple birds with one stone. So
yeah. So Goot3D in chat, it can still be made with Ender 3 parts, right? So any of the versions, right, can be made with.
So the MK5 ended up, that whole concept for me became, well, let's make a base. I actually made that base a little bigger than it needed to be, but it accommodated most pretty much Ender 3 styles at that point, or we can say Cartesian styles, or oh my god, cantilever? I can't get the printer style name out of my mouth at the moment. But so for the most part, like we can say 90% of the 3D printers that are on the market like have similar hot ends. They've got motors. We're working with Marlin firmware. So the first question we get for most people is, do you have a firmware? And my answer is we have a G code, and the G code is Marlin. And so for any current board that is flashed with any version of Marlin, it should be able to take our G code, because it's just G code. Yeah, it says turn your motor or your hot end on, bring it to temp, and then turn your motor on. That is our. Go ahead.
If you are a Clipper user, it would be easy enough to just take that G code and convert it to something that you could run.
Sure. So
Clipper,
good follow through. A lot of people want to bring us into Clipper. I think Clipper is going to be more of we're making what we're calling automated meld. Right now we have manual meld where people wanted an option to join. So for our meld unit, you can take your 2 strips of filaments and put them together to make a continuous roll of filament. So we're automating that right now. But yeah, the Clipper would be the best way to kind of like bring that into rep wrap style, where Marlin's not so much. I don't want to say Marlin's not everyone's favorite flavor anymore, but I've always felt Clipper was overkill for pultrusion in general, but I don't want to shy people away from, I guess, where we're going, right?
Yeah, I think Clipper has just made it easier for the average person to mess with their own firmware, just because you don't have to compile it like you do in Marlin. Unfortunately, I mean, I like Marlin, I like RepRap, I like Clipper, I like, I think they all have their place. I unfortunately think we are getting to a point where like the Marlin and the ability and people's ability to know how to compile it is kind of getting less and less and less, because we're into so much of that Clipper era that I know people who have been in 3D printing for the last couple of years and they only know of Clipper. And I'll mention Marlin, and they're like, what's Marlin? Like, they don't even know what it is. But it is, and it does work good on the Recreator. So if it works good, use it.
A lot of people at 3D Printopia were Bamboo users, and I just kept hearing, wow, you can make a 3D printer, and so the idea that, RepRap, in that sense, RepRap is dead, that Bamboo kind of finally made a 3D printer that is a 2D printer. It's just you print, you see a model, you hit print. For the most part, you don't even, I'd still say you have to have some sort of slicer knowledge, but they've definitely cut that down.
Yeah, it's definitely less than 6+ years ago.
But so I have a lot of people that they say, I only have a Bamboo. Where do I start? I'm a Bamboo user, and so it's kind of funny to think that I have a percentage of what they have deemed themselves Bamboo users. To my, they aren't a RepRapper in that sense of they need me to hold their hand on a whole other level, that they're now entry level 3D printer technically.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that I joke that I've said that I was going to take my A1 apart, and then every time I've had issues, I'm like, I'm going to recreate you, and then all of a sudden there's a firmware update, and I'm like, Bamboo's listening, I swear.
Yeah. Well, actually, so TechCheaper says there's a lot of Bamboo users who have never printed from anything but their phone.
Yep.
I actually talked to someone at a craft fair 2 weeks ago. We ran a craft fair to raise money for my son's robotics team. And there was a Bamboo user there who she told me.
It blows my mind.
She did not know that Bamboo Studio existed.
Okay.
She has only ever sent prints from Bamboo Handy.
It's mind blowing though, dude, when you think about it. And you see that on Maker World.
I was
people
shocked.
Are like, hey, can you make this so that I can do it from my phone? Or they say like little things like that, and you're like, wait,
I joke that I'm stuck in 1999. I'm 42, and so at some point for me, I keep saying we are in the future. The idea that you can download an STL to your phone and open an app and send it to your 3D printer, for me, is the future. Like that's like, if someone's like, this sucks, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Like, I grew up with dial-up, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Like,
I know. Yeah, I remember when DSL was like blazingly fast, right? Like we went from dial-up to DSL.
Dude, I remember my buddy went home from college and came back and was like, they got this new internet, it goes over your cable. You're like, what? You're like, like you're making that up. He's like, no, for real. I'm like, okay.
But you can even Prusa has it now, right? Prusa has the Easy Print app on your phone that you can print direct. You can slice.
So the guy in DC who hosted me was brand new to 3D printing, and he kept saying, like, I'm down there, and he kept saying, he's like, you're my guru, and I'm like, not feeling like a guru this week. And he's just like, dude, you got 10 years over me, you're a guru. And I'm like, all right, sure. So he ended up picking up an MK3 off of Market Space for like $350. So like, that's as a recycler person getting secondhand stuff, I'm like, yeah, MK3s are $350. And one locally, I could have got one for $150. I imagine getting an MK3 for $150. Like, for me, that's like, they're still great printers.
I almost got one for about $60 if I'd have remembered to go back to the auction. $60, dude. I was so sad. Corey sent it to me, and I totally forgot to go and check on it. And
like, I find a lot of posts for like the MK3S Plus. I had 4 of them, and I loved them. Right, they're great machines. Even today in 2025, they print great, and they are reliable, and they are a beast of a machine. Now, even with the newer firmware and the slicer, and you can speed them up, they're not, unless you go in and you speed it up, they're not the fastest thing in the world, but they're reliable and they print really well. But you can find them, and I still see people putting them on Facebook Marketplace or other places to sell for like $450 to $650, some wild number. But I've been seeing a lot of them lately like under $150.
Mhm.
And at
It's
that price,
great.
I am almost unwilling to not buy it. Like, I have to hold myself back because I'm like, that's still a really good printer for $150. Yes, I know, Steve, I have a problem. He was going to say it.
So
I was going to say the bamboo, right? I mean, the A1 right now. I saw one refurbed at Micro Center for $147 today, and it took all the strength in my body to not go and grab it.
Yeah, it's funny how how good printers have gotten and how inexpensive they have gotten. For real, like I was telling you can go on, they were selling on eBay, they were selling the FLSen T1 Pro, not like the bad pre-launch T1, but the T1 Pro, which is a big Delta printer, for $250. I mean, that's cheap.
That's the ebb and flow, right? So like, if you think that's a company or a product has a life expectancy or a shelf life of at least 2 to 3 years, right? So like, they're gonna release probably around 2,000 of them if they can, 1,000, 2,000 for a decent run size. That's where you see a lot of the Kickstarters go off, and they hope that we got at least 1,000 people. But if you only have like one, that's a lot of the clones come and go real quick because they made enough where they would hopefully net, and if they make enough, they'll say there's a chance for a second run. Then you can also flood the scene, right? And so Bamboo pretty much came in and said, well, we're gonna do what Creality did, and Creality, like, tell me how many Enders are out right now. Like,
no, I don't even think you could quantify that anymore. Like, I don't even like there's so many that.
So that's how Crealities have stayed relevant. They've flooded the market with and so people like to mod, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing you do when you get your printer.
Yeah, even Bamboo, right? Like the Bamboos that are just print.
Bamboos came out of the box. They're supposed to just print, don't mod. And
but
people are over here like, no, we're a printer community.
I mean, well, even funnier is like people
BQ and
do
Big Tree,
as well.
But BQ is killing it. They're like,
they've become a basically.
I love it. It's an accessory of Bamboo.
Yeah, like they're basically BQ Panda now. Like everything that they've been doing.
I propped them the other day because, like, dude. I mean, I love, if you haven't picked up one of these things, it's one of
those are cool.
Most convenient. Like, always catching stuff under my fingernails, and now this actually, like, I love that.
The most overly engineered scraper ever.
It's great, but yeah, dude, they're killing it for being like, it's great because what else are you gonna do with the A1 or a competitor if you can actually like jump on and say, okay, well, we're now gonna offer mods because this is a modding community. So like, just to further back in that, I've got my Ender 2 that I'm trying to repurpose, and so it's going to be a cold bed because at the end of the day we should be able to print Pet 1 on a cold bed if we go back with like 2090 tape, blue Scotch tape, like we did old school 7 years ago, right? So I'm just repurposing the frame. So right now I need to pop this over, but I made this multi-purpose so that we can have it on a 2020 or bring these out and it can be on a 4040.
Oh yeah,
or 2040 and a 2020 rather. But yeah, it's been crazy to see the ebb and flow of just the brands go, the brand war in general. Like, if you're not putting things out there, just like Prusa just came out with a flood of revisions, I guess I would say. Like, it's not even necessarily brand new printers, they're just revisions of, and also discontinuations like the MK3. I think it would have been amazing to see the MK3 stick around and be reduced to a $500 kit.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing though is that the one thing that I give I've always given Prusa props for is that they never forget their old printers, right? Like they still
they
update,
are
they still
grandfathered.
update firmware of the MK3, and they probably will for who knows how long, you know. And then they're also, I think the one thing with that I like with them is that they're kind of listening to. I think they went a number of years with like not listening to a lot of what we were saying in the community, but they finally gave us and yes, it is expensive, but they gave us a Core 1L, which is a enclosed Core XY printer that's 300 millimeters, which is what
Don't get me wrong, like
we asked Bamboo for that.
That's a total credit card purchase that like will
God,
take,
bro.
if not like a whole year to 2 years to pay for, but it's tickling me. Don't get me wrong. You know,
I think it's twofold. They are listening to the community as well as to the dollar sign and the margins. And I think
so.
The margins changed a lot for them probably over the last year.
Oh yeah, well again, so I mean, it's been a rough year for everybody. But so I've been pushing the MK3 as a great Pet 1 printer. So like, you know, it's one thing to pultrude, it's another thing then to get it to your printer. So A1s right now out of the box don't really do a good job printing Pet 1. So, you know, they're great for everything else, you know, but they do need a mod to get a little more grippy grip on that extruder. So BitQ actually has a mod that you can get that slips right in there. There's a community, there's a community mod that can be printed out for it. But normally I say anything direct drive for most people I think is more enjoyable these days than a Bowden. But dual geared extruder is like crucial for Pet 1s or just any kind of home custom filament, even if you're doing extrusion with like similar to the Artme or any other extruder. If you're doing custom diameter, the dual geared extruders are great for just extra grip for anything that's like 1.6 ish and up.
Yeah. Cool.
So real quick, I have a question, right? Because you are associated with the printer block.
Yep.
Are there plans for a Pet 1 printer block printer?
So we have a couple community members that are dabbling in between things.
Okay.
I've tickled it as a project for my DC kids if we go back to DC. So the idea would be again to have 30 kids with 30 recreators, and each one of them would be able to so we have I've turned this into an LCD knob so we can just turn that on here, but this is a single print-a-block mega cube. Oh my god, I keep calling that Doug's gonna kill me. So pretty much this would be, I think, a little more than 25 grams. I think we're at maybe like 35 grams. But the idea is that the kids should be able to print a few of these blocks and then together they can print the bigger ones. But at the end of the day, I think we needed, I think Doug said like 2 or 3K on the smaller printer that we're aiming for a kit. So it is a little up there on needs of filament, but we are I think Doug's basing it around the Prusa Mini. I think it's 180 by 180, right? Is that the Prusa Mini size? For the bed. So there's going to be like 1 or 2 inches around that inside, just so that there's a little more wiggle room of play. But yeah, that's I'll bring it over. The print-a-blocks were I was really excited to be able to host Doug and 3D Printing Professor's print-a-blocks, and to actually I built a Voron 0.2. And it took me a couple years to build just out of Pet 1, and this printer took me a month. So I don't know why one printer took me 2 years, a kit from Boron, and then another one took me a month. And I had so much fun printing this, and the fact that we were actually hosting Doug at 3D Printopia was just like fun in general. So
yeah, they were wicked cool. Like I would also think a print-to-block printer in all pet would be freaking cool. So I shared this screen because of all the ones I've seen, that's like my favorite pet recycled filament print I've seen. That is cool.
So
like,
we'll try to get a variety. I've got to get some more updates from people recently, but that was a collection from a couple years ago where we really try to tell people the easiest way to get started is to use your 25 grams as you can. So it's a good idea. Just, people are always like, what do I use the rest of my grams on my roll for? Like, you can print out small print-to-blocks now. So with print-to-blocks, it's a nice way to say, what can I use up my remaining rolls of filament? So same thing with the Pet 1. We're using small rolls of filament that we can piggyback in with our filament runout sensor. So some people are saying, well, I don't have the time. I like to say Saturday and Sunday, even if you've got your kids around. Make it a family experience and have them load the printer. My fiance B, she'll hear my Prusa beeping when it runs out of filament, and she tells me your printer's hungry. You got to go feed it. We go down, and we got another community member. He is killing it. Joe, he just bangs those out. He's making like giant sculptures that are like 4 feet tall. He's bringing them to the farmer's market.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, but if you're printing the small parts that make something bigger, it's now like a puzzle. So a lot of people have the smaller printers. You're still able to print decent sized parts that you can put together. So with the print-to-blocks, it's nice because they've got little pivot pins and stuff. So you can, I've been doing a lot of just conversions with the print-to-block subsets that allow you to add the connectors to varying things. So
well, the cool thing about the making the pet is that you get so many really awesome
that guy
colors.
makes me jealous so much with he's in tropic, I forget where he's at, but this guy like Jamaica or something, he's always sending me these tropical pictures when it's like mid-December in Massachusetts, and I'm like, we've got 10 feet of snow.
Yeah, and you've got that in your background. I said, like the cool thing about it is that like there are so many awesome colors of bottles that translate into what the filament ends up looking like.
So that's a good tie-in. In America right now, you got to talk about like bottle distribution. So like Coca-Cola, they also distribute and produce other brands' bottles. So for the most part, like Coca-Cola has eliminated Sprite Bottle Green in order to help reduce their initiative for 2035 to go 100% recycled bottles.
Yeah.
So if you think about your production and how you're trying to be 100% recyclable, you're going to take away anything that now is a 10% variant. So if you only have 10% green and now that's going to contaminate your clear, we're eliminating it.
Yep.
But you can still take Sharpie markers. So if you want to colorize your bottles, we can take Sharpie markers. We got India ink. You can colorize your strip and turn it into whatever color you want. Just like that hippo there is from an ink pad, a purple ink pad.
Oh, all right. Cool. So I saw like the pumpkin that you guys had at 3D Printopia. How was that colored?
Pumpkin.
There's a giant, obviously orange. It was an orange pumpkin and like on the side, and then.
Oh my God! Now you're making me question.
Don't worry about it.
If it was me or, but they're
That's cool.
So like the keychain, so yeah, the West Juice with the yellow, you know. So I was making keychains, and for the most part, I think if you're doing recreation, you can get one of our key fobs that we've got there, and it's just a nice conversation start to people come up to a stranger and you introduce yourself. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, I 3D print. Oh yeah, you 3D print? Yeah, I make soda bottles into plastic filament. So the next step is showing them like, oh, this was a Sprite bottle. Check it out, or this was this, and they're like, oh wow, you know. So I think it's just fun.
Like, people are always impressed when I will still show people 3D printing and 3D printed stuff, and people are still amazed. I still have people in 2025 tell me that they thought it was just sci-fi and didn't really know that actual people were actually doing it at their houses. So if I think if you're showing them like I'm making plastic bottles into stuff, that's just another level of like mind-blowingly awesome that people just wouldn't get unless you're doing it.
Especially if they're into recycling like me. Like, I'm very like I try to pay attention to the recycling. And I'm like, hey.
So that was a little racer, I think 2023 at Earth we raced on behalf of the person that made it. And so those are Pet One wheels. If you ever use the Pet wheels, don't put alcohol on them. They will literally explode and degrade on you.
Sorry, Steve, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that little car was cool.
So like, I'm super into recycling. I don't have a Recreator, but like I do stuff with my poop, my filament poop, and know, and melt it down because I don't want it to go into like a landfill. And like I was literally like hiding boxes of like I still have like some of my first prints, you know, like my fails and different little
we all
pieces
do it. That was,
and I'm like, I'm hoarding them away.
You know?
And then once I got the heat press, I was like, okay, now I can kind of start, turning these into something, at least remotely useful.
So with the heat press, it's nice because then you can go to a CNC machine. So at least you're now making acrylic sheets or plastic sheets of some sort, right? And so now you can think like, oh, well, I can do a lot with a CNC. You can make shelves.
I actually want to get a pasta roller, like an old style pasta roller. So that I can so that I can get the thickness of them consistent. And then that way I can kind of like really do stuff with it that's at least semi-consistent across all of the prints. I mean,
real quick here, just because I had pinned this a little bit. So Spoken True was just asking for the Pet One, the bottle material, what surface do you print on? I've printed the commercial PET, and I just printed on PEI like I do PET G. Does Pet One print well just on smoother textured PEI? Same as.
So I shy away from untextured PEI. I'm not a fan of untextured, just like a gloss. I feel like it has no bonding whatsoever for anything, just outside of PET normal material. I hate it. I am a big fan of textured. I think if you've got textured, you definitely want to also do like your first layer to have a little, I call it a little extra smush. So like 0.1, 0.2 extra on the first layer usually will get your bond within your texture nice and good. So outside of that, a 2090 blue scotch like we did 10 years ago. That is always my go-to for like if I ever have TPU that won't bond good on something, I stick down some 2090. So I suggest the same with Pet One. I really want to attempt to get away from, we go to 60C as a suggested, sometimes 70 for normal things. Like right now I'm using one of the Sliceworks colder plates. That has a great bond, and you can go like cold on that, I think, to about 30C. So that's nice if you're trying to kill some power watts on your heat. So we have some people that are printing at like 280C and 500 millimeters a second, you know, like, so it's like, I can't imagine. I go old school. I pick some PET-G settings, and I'm at 30. So I like to go slow, but
Gotcha.
but again, I'm old school, so I don't want to shy any of my community members away from anything, because like, we learn from everybody, and everybody's got a different degree of how they want to use this as home production. You know, Corey, like you said, what if we bring like 5 people into it now? That's group production. You're not just one person, you're 5 people. And we're not just 1 unit, we're 5 units. And so what happens when you have no local recycling? You are now the local recycling.
Yeah.
So 2 things real quick. So I know that like Coca-Cola, especially like in the South, and I think it just started making its way at least to Maryland, they're using like a softer bottle. Is that still the same thing, and they're just making it thinner, or is it chemically different now?
I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of these companies as far as what they're doing in marketing. So again, with the idea that Coca-Cola is on an initiative to finalize a 2035 goal. They are currently on that goal. So if they have already eliminated Sprite Green almost a year ago, they will likely be on that goal faster, especially if people like us are ripping off their plastic bottles. And so at some point too, like I joked, like we are now competing with companies and brands. Like what happens when you do go to a redemption center, your bottle's getting chopped up, and then that gets bagged and shipped back to whoever is buying recycled bottles. So one of those would be Coca-Cola now getting their recycled material back, and they're going to put that back into their now 100% recycled bottle that they market. So yes, that bottle should now technically be our PET. This gets us into a whole other conversation about, I guess, what I would call a raw PET one versus a recycled PET, an R PET one. So especially in pultrusion, where some people are able to, there's a seaming technique where some people have managed to take their PET 1 bottles and get them seamed before pultrusion, so that you don't have to join after pultrusion.
I've seen that before, like where people were like somehow joining the strips
Those
together.
tend to be people that have refined their production down to a certain type of bottle or brand, rather than multiple types of bottles and brands. So this is where I like to tell people, find a bottle and brand that works for you and attempt to stick with it. Like you can almost go a little nuts, just like 3D printing can drive you a little nuts. If you're like, what do you mean there's more filament than just PLA?
See, like my family, we don't drink soda.
Sure.
But we go through a huge amount of plastic bottles in bottled water. So like
some of the flimsier bottles, you can pultrude with, but you're only going to get about 5 grams from them. But that's going to be more on the R PET.
Yeah.
And so for those, you should be able to seam before pultrusion, during pultrusion, because they're more of a thinner rather than a thicker. Yeah. I call it density. I got a community member that'll yell at me right now for saying density. And
and you can feel it. Like what Steve was saying with bottles being thinner. Like you can hold like a good like a Fuji water bottle in your hand, and like we have Hannafords up here for our grocery stores, like a Hannaford or a Shaw's brand bottle, and you can feel the difference. You know, they're quite a bit thinner.
So I mentioned density, but it's like just like thickness overall. So like you mentioned, so when a bottle is actually blown, it's how much is gonna be in that wall. So when we strip down our bottle, we do take calipers and we measure that wall, that thickness. And so we, throughout this strip that should be 8 millimeters wide consistently based off of the thickness, that's how much filament's going to be able to go through pultrusion and eventually go from being a straw into an actual like fully drawn out, depending on how you want to do it.
Yeah.
So if I measure this from here down another 2 inches, down another 2 inches, down another, just like you have a consistency, hopefully consistent filament from oh my god, our little KISS area of negative to positive, right? That brings us from 1.75 up or under. So I like to tell people that you want to make sure that you're measuring your thickness good, because that will determine on how ultimately your unit is pulling and then what you get for an output.
Cool. So all right, well we're up to 9:30 there. So what is Recreator going to be doing over the next like 3 months? Where can people find you? What are you going to be up to?
Yeah, thanks for that. That like makes me a little joyous. So yeah, I'm finally getting back from 3D Printopia. That took a little wind out of me, but we're starting to get the bearings back. So KB3D has just, I believe, gone out of stock, but are working to get 20 more units back in stock before Black Friday. Nice. Of which brings us to Christmas. So for every month, they've been trying to get the stock up higher for us as we move forward and get more popular. We're doing custom runs, so if anybody is looking for a community outlet where they need 30 units, we can do a custom order through KB3D. We are global, so we're not just in America. So outside of that, we've been talking about going back to DC to our middle school, where we're going to be hopefully working with 30 kids again to bring recreation into recycling for communities that don't have recycling. Outside of that, I'm working with a couple other sponsors, working on some projects. We worked on these speakers, brought these out to Disposition Sound, so this was a fun project, just like to show that, this is water bottles, and then some more water bottles here and some Sprite bottles before they got discontinued. So just the idea that you can turn the soda bottles and plastic bottles into new creations through 3D printing and to facilitate where there's no recycling. I really want to see, I think the ambassadors, if I got a recap on a 3-month thing, the ambassadors were amazing this year, and I think they're going to be even more amazing in 2026. But we did through LDO, we did our ambassador awards and varying other awards. So I was blessed by LDO to be able to do some awards for our ambassadors and just showcase what they're doing. Again, like Corey, like you mentioned, if you became an ambassador with what you're doing is perfect. I think the more that happens, it blows my mind, because I never even thought we'd have more than 100 members, and now we're sitting on almost your Discord 15,000. So
I mean, your Discord is active and it has hundreds of people in it, and that's really cool to see. And it's active. Steve and I joined it today, and if you guys, I pinned it, I posted it in chat, and if you guys are not in it, you should join it now, especially if you're interested in building one of these, because it's a very active Discord. So
I've got it as like JRT3D, kind of a combo of a bunch of different things, but it's a bunch of people right now. We're focused on recycling in 3D printing in general. We've got a couple different branded projects we work with. We try to keep it primarily Recreator related amongst pultrusion techniques, STEM education, and troubleshooting. So we do have a sub-sister set. It's Pet Pultruders United. So we don't want to exclude other branded pultrusion, but every brand has a different technique style. So
Cool.
We welcome anybody to the Discord. Again, we get compliments all the time. I thank you for that. That we're one of the more active servers around for pultrusion and recycling. So it blesses me back to M3D and JRT3D and how I started with technical troubleshooting and just running community in general. Without community, just within RepRap and 3D printing and all that under 3D Printopia.
That's cool.
And again, thank you guys for having me. Like,
it was been a pleasure.
Because we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, right? Like,
I love what you do, and I'm gonna set a goal for myself to have a Recreator3D at our table next year at 3D Printopia.
That'd be awesome.
And we'll be printing. I'll be printing stuff on the antithesis.
Get you some Captain Recreators.
So, Steve, before we let Josh go, do you have any remaining things that you need to ask?
Not really. Quick, I do actually. Are there any plans to go bigger? You know what I mean? Like
automating or?
Well, not necessarily automating, but I've seen like I know in like South America they do bigger bottles, but it's a very like ragtag kind of setup. But like it's very rep.
But the idea with the MK6 that we've turned into, and even the MK5, like the MK5 we're using as a base template right now for the automated meld. And so other people have like Print-A-Block. Actually, the Print-A-Block printer started with the MK6 base as their control board. So like that, Doug reached out and said, can I use this for that? And I'm like, yeah. And so the MK6 has started to turn into its own base unit, where we're now like turning that into a nice little like desktop automated setup of where we can do melding with one MK6 and then the other one's doing pultrusion, and then we've got a tumbler for sorting shredded materials, and then another one we've called the RAMs unit, where it's actually piggybacking one filament into another so that you can not join your filament, but again have it ram into the next one as it goes into the filament extruder. So bigger and bolder again would be the ambassadors, and so we've got a guy in the Philippines, again going down to DC to the capital. That's big for us, but we've got people over in Europe and UK. In France, we've got over 1,000 community members in France, and a whole other Facebook France community just for itself. So that for me is big scale. Like, you know, for bigger bottles, we can go up to 5 liters that I've seen some people do. And again, if you're actually joining the filament before pultrusion as a seaming, you could technically go up towards infinity. So we have some of our community mods have gotten crazy. There's some people that have made 4x pullers where you're pulling 4 bottles at one time. And they've taken our bigger gears and double set them, and they've got 4 motors attached to those, where I'm just like, this is amazing. So again, we got 180 community mods. So if someone's just like, they don't necessarily know where to start, we've got, you know, the best starting point is to go to KB3D for a kit, and that has been polished and refined for, again, 12-year-olds can pick it up. And then for the senior RepRap modder who wants to, you know, kind of see what else can we do. Maybe you want to do the vertigo because you saw the tall one. There's a mod for that. I wanted to do the small one, but I've got a big PSU. Oh, look, there's a mod for that. So there's a nice like starting page at our Recreator3D.com for getting started, where you can, that shows variety of elements that you can start from the community.
That's so cool. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you joining us. It was a very good time.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you're awesome. We love what you're doing. We can't wait to see what you do in the future, and I will spend hours digging through your Discord to check out all those.
I'm available for the most part. Usually you can reach out to me and say hi, and
cool.
You know, there might be a beat in between, but I usually try to get back to people who've got questions. And appreciate
that's awesome,
you,
man. Well, we hope.
Real quick, I want to say this. Whenever I run into you and your partner, like, you guys always make me feel so like warm and welcome. It's like every time. And so, you know, I let you know I appreciate your friendliness and your openness to the
Thank you.
community in general. And
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I've seen the awards that you've given or been a part of giving out to the community, and I thought that was like super cool. And me and Corey had talked about like an awards type thing as well, but like the look on like people's faces when they got those awards and they didn't know they were getting them, you know, it's priceless. And it's kind of stuff that like makes the community, you know, more
Trying to make me cry before we end the stream,
no,
guys.
I'm just saying it just makes the community like a better place.
Well,
when,
Steve
like,
always says like someone's cutting onions. Right?
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. You know,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for like Mike Armani from M3D. Like he's a name that a lot of people don't even know, and he'd probably be okay with that. But like we all start somewhere, and that comes from just again like community, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, that's rep rap, keeping it rep rap, keeping it community. I always wanted to bring somebody in as a guest at my table because I was a guest at somebody else's table. I not in the greatest of situations financially all the time, and so for me, like to have sponsor help goes the distance. And again, like keeping it rep rap on the community stand. So thank you for that. The awards were something I wanted to do last year when I saw them come out. I saw the Creator Award and something said the Recreator Award, and I reached out to Jason from LDO, and he makes the magic happen. LDO makes the magic happen. So those big key players, you know, people think like, oh, this Rep Rap Festival just showed up out of nowhere. Like there are key players to make those festivals happen that makes this community happen. And
well,
once you get to that level of being able to do that too, like again, like it's a blessing. So I did see people that were like, I've never got an award before. To think that you never got an award, you know, and so I had someone say I don't deserve this, and I was like, here are the list of things of why you deserve it. So like, you know,
nice.
Thank you for that. Cool. I appreciate you
no
acknowledging
doubt.
that. Thank you.
But hey, everybody, make sure you follow Josh. Hit up the website. We appreciate you as usual. And you know, if you have anything coming up and you want us to plug it, just you know. You know how to get in touch with us.
Just ping us.
I'd love to come back on, even if you guys are just like you want someone to banter with. I forget that I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm constantly reminded, like you got a lot to talk about.
Oh man!
So when let's forget when I get my Recreator put together, and we'll have you on again so that you can correct all the flaws.
Nero just did his, and I wish I was kind of like. I was in the comments, but he had me cringing a couple of times where I'm like, you know, it's nice. That's where I like to hold people's hands. So like for me, like someone just left us a review that was like, oh, I'm disappointed. I spent so much money and time and I didn't get the experience I thought I'd get out of it. And so for me, that's like what we've got technical help groups all over the place. We've got recreators recreating, looking to get people recreating. And so that's my mantra. I want to get you recreating today. So if anybody's having issues out there, like we've got the support group. I might not be around all the time, but if I'm not around, somebody else is there to help. So
cool.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
thank you again, guys.
No problem, and I hope you have a good night. We'll put you off stage now, so go enjoy the rest of your night. Tell your partner we said hi.
She's probably upstairs watching now. So
nice.
I appreciate you.
And then we'll see you on the next time.
Yep.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Josh.
See you.
Take care, everyone.
All right, bye. So Josh, Recreator3D, I will say, if you guys get a chance to go to 3D Printopia and you do swing by Josh's table, those two people are probably the two of the nicest people you ever meet.
Yes,
and it's kind of like kismet, or like the perfect that he's working with LDO, because Jason from LDO is another guy who is like one of the nicest people that I've ever met. So to have like Josh and Jason working together on anything is just genuinely awesome people. I'm now I gotta I'm gonna build one, man. It's one of those things that just have always been on my
it's been on my list as well.
I actually have a whole MK I have an old MK6 kit printed. I just got to pick up an Ender 3 if I wanted to actually use the Ender 3, but I think I'm going to pick
Ender 3 stuff to do.
I think I like the I think I'm going to pick up the Recreator3D kit because I like the idea of the kits.
It's already there.
And it supports both.
I kind of want to do one from an Ender 3 just because I love reality.
So before we ramble on a little bit, do you want to do one of the first giveaway?
Yeah, we can do one. One. Let's do it.
So all right. So before we do it, there's only 12 people in the giveaway, and there's definitely more viewers than that. So you guys have the next minute to get entered. So there's only 12 people in. Hashtag or
hashtag Spooligan.
Hashtag Spooligan in chat will enter you in. And this is for one of 3 Polymaker coupons.
For $35, you can use it.
$35.
You can use it towards your cart. I'm just gonna say it like that. You can use it towards filament. You can use it towards
you should use it.
Hold on, save it, because I was gonna wait till after. Okay. I was gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I was gonna put you on the spot.
Stuff is amazing. Is Polymaker Pete still in here?
He was in here earlier. I don't know. I might be
that mad. Him and Polymaker Matt. They're like mad geniuses, man. Dude, he had told me, he had sent me a message in Discord that this was like next level PETG because I'm a PETG guy, right? Everybody knows I'm a PETG guy, and I was like, We'll see. You know, I'll
really was. He was amazing. It was hilarious.
It is so good. It is so good. I have never had a PETG that I just put in with I have a PET profile, right? But I just printed this with my PETG profile that I print Elegoo Rapid PETG, which was my favorite. And I just sent this, and it printed absolutely perfect.
Dude, it was hilarious. Because when Corey, listen, I've known you over a year now, and the stuff he likes, the stuff he doesn't like. So he was very like, I don't know, man. I love this Elegoo Rapid Pet G, and I was like, well, I don't know if he's gonna be swayed, you know. And then I get a message from him, and I see the print, and he's like, this stuff's amazing.
I was very open. I was very open, even with Pete in the chat that, and even in some of the posts on X, like I was very open that like I'm not convinced, right? Like I have to physically get it and print it. And he was right. I don't, it's just good.
Dude, it made me laugh so hard.
Yeah. So, okay. We're up to 17, but I feel like there's way more people. But
they must not want it. Let's go. Let's do one.
All right. Let me share. All right. So we're gonna draw the first one. 17 entries. So 1 in 17 chance. Is it going? Oh, I gotta add it.
I hate it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. 1 in 17 chance to win that.
First one, 1 in 17 chance. And you got to make sure to remove whoever wins after this.
Yeah.
We got 200.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3.
Let's see.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know how to say that.
Is it Oljamanin?
On YouTube, I guess. Yeah, Oljamanin.
YT?
I guess YT for YouTube. Hey, Oljamanin, I seen you in here. We just need you to reply so that we can confirm that you're around.
Yep.
So that you can.
Oh, there he is.
Perfect. Cool.
You got a wow.
Cool. All right, cool. Just hang on. We'll circle back. But if you're on our Discord, if not, join our Discord and then shoot me or Corey a message on there, and we'll make sure to get you taken. Actually, shoot it to me, and I'll make sure to get you taken care of. Cool. Now let's go to what you got. Hold on, let me see.
Okay.
Let's see what happens here.
Okay. So,
oh my God, that's way too much. There we go. All right, let's see this print.
Okay, right here. All right, so here, I'll show the whole thing. So this is a stack, right?
Yep.
So this stuff, I mean, it is like,
Look at that.
I mean, this stuff print.
Which one was that? I was trying to get it to where you were the big person.
Oh,
they won't do it. All right, forget it.
Yeah, just like
there you go.
It's so good.
You did it, and then it went away.
And this was all printed. This was just printed on a P1S. This is printed on a P1S with. So okay.
Dude, look at the bottom on the inside of that thing.
So this one here was just printed with my PETG profile. These two were printed with the on a P1S with stock bamboo PETG high flow profiles, the stock ones, and they are identical. So you don't have to specially tune this stuff. It just prints on the default profiles. And the one thing, there is not a speck of stringing. The layer adhesion is just wild, stuck to the bed perfectly. It's just really good. And I don't know, I was just blown away.
Look at let me see the inside, the bottom inside of that thing, dude.
Oh, just dropping all.
Oh, Butterfingers over there.
I know,
dude. That is insane.
I know, like that's the top surface. Like
that is crazy.
It's just, it's wild how like.
Yeah, that's very clean, dude.
Yeah.
Nice job, Pete. Nice job, Pete. He knocked it out with another one, man.
Like it's just good.
Yeah, that's great.
And like I said, I was not.
Corey can't be bought, man. I'll say that.
I'm not one. I'm not one that'll just be like, it's. I mean, it like I have to have it, and I have to print with it. And
me, on the other hand, I can be easily bought. No, I'm kidding.
And I like. So, and the crazy thing too is that like I will buy Elegoo Rapid PETG at like anywhere from like $12.99 to like $19.99 a spool, right? Like, but like right now, like I bought that, it was like $15.99
because of the Black Friday sale.
Because of the Black Friday, but even at $19.99, like at $19.99 for that level of a PETG that prints that good, that basically takes. This stuff takes all the issues that most people have with PETG, like warping or weird surface finishes. Like, so PETG, if you've never printed it before, it has a tendency to stick to the nozzle really bad. This did none of that. It didn't stick to the nozzle. The surface quality is impeccable. The layer adhesion is very good. And it's just, I don't know, the surface, the top layers are good, the bottom layers are good. And I didn't do anything different with it. I used my tuned profile for an Elegoo Rapid PETG, and then I printed the stock bamboo PETG high flow, and they did exactly the same thing. So it's not like you had to tune it. It's just really, really good. So everybody type in #spool again in chat again, because I accidentally did clear that out.
Way to go. Yeah, one job.
So old Jim Menon, don't enter again because you can't win twice, unfortunately. So don't enter.
Come on, we need more entries. How many entries do you have right now? 1, 2, 3.
So we've got 8. So if everybody enters again, except for the first winner there, we should be up to 16. Oh yeah, we were gonna do a #polymorph won the last one. Remember that?
We forgot about that.
Yeah.
We still got one more after this.
Yeah. So we're up to 14.
We need more. I did that by accident.
Oh,
we need
okay.
More.
So Oilman. Okay.
14 entries, unless we have like more. Unless these are all people that are from other countries, which doesn't matter because Polymaker ships in other countries as well. So,
so
get those entries in.
This is a code that you're going to receive that you can go on Polymaker and order
Whether you say
$35.
polymaker or polymaker, either way, you can use it to buy some
Pete says,
cheap Pet G.
Pete says, I'm about to win my own filament, and you should get Pete. You should get the PETG.
Yeah, you should try it out.
Formula.
I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I heard. Maybe these
so
other
good.
like 18 people are bots or something. I don't know because we got 17 again.
Yeah,
Come on, people, get in there. This is free money.
There's over 30 people in chat, so hashtag
maybe
Spooligan.
Maybe they're lurking. They're like just here to be nice.
No, I did see a few
in
people
another chat
eating dinner, so they were lurking. But
well.
Pete says, I only have one of each color. Need more. Yeah, okay.
I want that army green. I mean, not army green. That dark green, dude. The dark green looks so good. And I wish I would have bought it when I first saw it. And
these were all PETG at one point, and they were going to be actually this week a reorder of Elegoo Rapid Rapid PETG. And I still love you, Elegoo, but these will now be filled with Polymaker PETG.
Nice.
Because I will rip the spools off and put them on these because I do like the reusable plastic spools. But that's the other thing that would make me happy is that if this amazing PETG could be in refills, I would love it even more.
No one knows what you're talking about.
I love refills.
All right, what's that? I had to make it bigger because I couldn't see.
Oh, okay.
All
18. Okay.
18.
You ready to draw?
Let's draw. Listen,
okay.
Let's do it. Let's see. That was on time. Tech Jeeper, boom, got him.
Tech Jeeper. Congratulations.
All right, we have one. Well, don't remove everybody. Don't do it.
I'm not. Only text removed.
Yes.
We're at 17 now. So,
all right.
All right. Ready? We'll draw again. This is the third and final
one. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Come on. Stephen Poole.
All right. Is Stephen Poole in chat? Stephen Poole. Yay.
All right, cool.
Is in chat. Cool. All right. So, did you happen to write down those winners?
Yeah, I got them in the old still vault up here.
Okay.
Right?
Perfect. So, Steve will touch base with you guys. Do you want them to reach out to you, or do you want us to reach out to them?
Yeah, they can just reach out to me.
Okay.
That way their names are at the top of the list, and then I can get everything else taken care of.
Yeah. So touch base with Steve.
Yeah. Pete says he hopes you try the new Pet G.
Yes, I do too.
Oops, the screen moved right when I hit it.
Try the new Pet G. And this magenta color is pretty friggin'.
That magenta is nice, dude.
It's really nice.
That's a nice. What made you get magenta, dude?
I don't know. It just I was going through the colors and I clicked on this one. I was like, that's really nice. So yeah. I did fill the cart today. So at some point I'll probably I got a bunch of. I wanted black. They have a dark gray. They have a nice blue. They have another purple. There's quite a few colors. Quite a few colors on there. Actually, real quick, before we go, let's look at the colors.
They got other colors coming soon too. I think they got like 3 or 4 more colors coming up.
Yeah,
soon.
so there's quite a few. So this is not this one. This one here, I love a dark gray.
Hold on.
Oh, not showing. There we go. So I love a good dark gray. Like I said, this is the magenta that I ordered just because it was the first one. But they've got, a nice dark blue, a light blue, the teal, obviously. I didn't even see that one, a super dark blue.
That's the one. And the
purple. I don't know what that is. Oh, even darker purple. Oh,
yeah, dark
look
purple.
at that. That's like that actually almost looks like their army dark purple.
It
That
does.
might be a little
It does.
darker. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a pink, white, red, like magenta, red, orange. They're good colors.
They got 4
I
galaxies
like
on the way, as well as army brown.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's just and make sure that if you do order it, make sure you do the new formula, and then when you put it in the cart, put it in the cart, it will say new formula in the cart too. Yeah, it's just good stuff.
Nice job, Pete. Man, Pete, he did the HTPLA launch. He did this new PETG launch.
Yeah.
After a while, man, he might be running. He might be running Polymaker over there.
I know. I mean, I don't. When new PLAs come out, I'm just like, okay, that's neat, and I'll get a roll or something. But this is
wait, unless it's our PLA, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm getting a roll.
Oh yeah. But when you come out with a new PETG, man, you're speaking my language.
Yeah, you are.
That's my jam.
Speaking of, I seen it was a question in chat. There should be more You Kiss Your Mother with That Mouth coming pretty soon. John's getting everything up and running. He switched over some machinery. But that is part of Rainbow. His Rainbow with a little bit of orange at the bottom, with a magenta and a little I guess what is that? I gotta look on the roll. But yeah, so You Kiss Your Mother. That's not You Kiss Your Mother. It is You Kiss Your Mother.
That's the Rainbow.
Yeah. And then this is also, these came off of the same spool. This and this, all one spool that has all that color in there. So yeah, Polymaker new stuff, Ambrosia's new stuff. It's a good time for us, man. We got new filament coming out, new machines coming out. You know,
a Space Nugget,
and what's that?
That cool? Is
Layerworks.
That is Cookie.
Arctic?
No,
okay.
It almost looks like the Arctic Blue, but
this
is Cookie Cad's that blue ombre elixir.
Gotcha.
So if it was bigger, you probably would have. Actually, this is the.
You sound like you're in space.
I do.
All right, now it's back. It came back.
So this is the Arctic Blue from Layerworks, and this is they're very similar.
Yeah, they are. But it's the Arctic Blue is a little more translucent.
Yeah, this one's definitely, because this is part of his. I don't think this one's part of his crystal line, but it's still pretty transparent.
Yeah, it is.
Transparent.
Once again, thank you guys for coming out.
Congratulations to the winners.
Thanks to Polymaker for the cool giveaway, sponsored giveaway. Thanks to Josh for coming on Unspooled. We have a section on the site. If you have something cool you're working on and you want to be a guest, don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I want to be a guest.
I will give a special thanks to Polymaker Pete and Polymaker Matt and all the mad scientists at Polymaker for making my PETG.
The PhDs, they got PhDs over there, man. Yeah. Also, thanks to our mods for helping us keeping the Discord up and running and in good condition. GTR Dad, our mod, as well, on here as well.
GTR Dad keeps our spammers in check. And I appreciate it.
So we'll see. Next week we have Fedor 3D Print SOS is coming on. So hopefully we see you guys next week. Oh shoot, we need to pick a raid target. We're talking
another super nice guy.
Yeah, another super nice guy. Yeah, that is true. We're picking all the super nice people.
Yeah, full. All right, so Jano is live.
Let's raid Jano then.
Yeah,
Jano did some cool prints with our stuff. So
yeah, he's doing. I think he's doing another another gingerbread house thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna raid Jano. Like I said, once again, appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. And we are out.
We are out. Later, guys.
Later.